Hi, welcome to She Spice. Yet again, Hollywood and legislative issues have impacted JD Vance's dubious remarks about childless feline women, which have started a searing reaction from Jennifer Aniston. Yet, what did he say that created such a ruckus, and how did Jennifer Aniston answer so wildly? His expression is that we're successfully run in this country through the leftists by means of our corporate oligarchs by a lot of childless feline women who are hopeless at their own lives, and that their decisions thus they need to make the remainder of the country hopeless as well. Furthermore, it's simply that Jennifer Aniston didn't keep down. She hit out at JD Vance, blaming him for slighting ladies. Yet what precisely did she say, and for what reason did it incite such areas of strength for? From fans in the media. Once in a while, ladies get into relationships, connections, or whatever it looks like, and they can't have kids, so the options are so particularly immense as the show unfolds. Virtual entertainment is humming with responses from fans and reporters from YouTube. TikTok and Twitter have all said something regarding this unstable trade. However, is there more going on to individuals who don't actually have an immediate stake in it? Individuals who don't have in it when he ate here, who don't have in it meaning in the event that you're not white, in the event that you're not Christian, on the off chance that you're not straight, and so on. That's all there is to it. It's the calm part that I'm saying without holding back. And a considerable lot of us comprehend to be not comprehended and not to be valid. How does Kamala Harris fit into this discussion we should figure out? JD Vance, as of late, stood out as truly newsworthy with his remarks about childless feline women, which many saw as an immediate assault on ladies who decide not to have kids following his remarks. Jennifer Aniston, a darling Hollywood star, rushed to answer. She reprimanded Vance for his comments, calling them insolent and hostile. Her reaction lighted an online entertainment firestorm. However, what makes this contention considerably more intriguing is the manner in which it attaches back to Kamala Harris, and a few fans trust there's a more profound political plan having an effect on everything. To completely comprehend the discussion, we should check JD Vance's remarks. Vance's remarks come from a July 2021 Fox News interview when he was running for Ohio's U.S. Senate seat, and have been restored for the current week after Harris declared she was running for the vote-based official designation. We are successfully running in this country through the liberals by means of our corporate oligarchs by a lot of childless feline women who are hopeless at their own lives, and that their decisions thus they need to make the remainder of the country hopeless too. Vance told. Then Fox News have exhaust crossin'. It's simply a fundamental truth you check. Kamala out Harris, Pete Buttigieg, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The whole fate of the liberals is constrained by individuals without youngsters. In the event that we need a solid decision class in this country, we ought to contribute more. We ought to cast a ballot more. And we ought to help more individuals who really have children, because those are individuals who at last have a more straightforward stake in this country. Vance said, "We're successfully run in this country through the leftists by means of our corporate oligarchs by a lot of childless feline women who are hopeless at their own lives, and that their decisions thus they need to make the remainder of the country hopeless as well." And simply a Vance is. Ohio's lesser representative was picked last week to be previous President Trump's running mate in the 2024 official political decision. Vance's situations on fetus removal and IVF have been raised by liberals after the declaration Vance made in 2022 that he'd back a public restriction on early terminations following 15 weeks, yet additionally demonstrated that he upholds Trump on passing on the inquiry to the states. He was among the Senate conservatives who cast a ballot in June to obstruct regulation that would safeguard admittance to IVF. His comments were viewed as an assault on ladies who decide not to have kids, igniting prompt backfire. Jennifer Aniston, who has frequently been vocal about ladies' freedoms and cultural assumptions, took to web-based entertainment to communicate her shock. Anniston shared a screen capture of Vance's appearance on her Instagram stories and wrote, "I genuinely can't really accept that this is coming from an expected VP of the U.S." Anniston likewise expounded on Vance's extreme right position on conceptual privilege as well. "Without a doubt, Mr. Vance, I ask that your little girl is sufficiently lucky to bear offspring of her own one day." Anniston wrote in her post, "I want to believe that she won't have to go to IVF as a subsequent choice, since you are attempting to remove that from her too." Anniston's comments about Vance's remarks come from an individual spot. All through her profession, she has been exposed to unreasonable newspaper inclusion, which has more than once pushed into her connections throughout the long term and addressed why she doesn't have youngsters in 2020. 2. Anniston gave uncommon remarks in an Appeal main story, sharing interestingly that she battled with her fruitfulness and went through IVF. I was attempting to get pregnant. It was a difficult street for me. The child-making street Anniston expressed considering her 30s and 40s. After a long time and long periods of hypotheses, it was truly hard. I was going through IVF, drinking Chinese tea, and so on. I was tossing everything at it. I would have given anything in the event that somebody had told me to freeze your eggs. Do yourself truly hard. I was going through IVF, drinking Chinese tea, and so on. I was tossing everything at it. I would have given anything in the event that somebody had told me to freeze your eggs. Do yourself a favor. You simply don't think it. So here I am today. The boat has cruised in her Appeal interview. Anniston said the media story that she was childish and just thought often about my profession was difficult. God restrict a lady is fruitful and doesn't have a youngster, she said in 2022, and the explanation my better half left me for why we split BR up and finished our marriage was on the grounds that I wouldn't give him a youngster. It was outright lies. Her reaction resounded with many fans and superstars who commended her for facing what they saw as a sexist way of talking. You see, Kamala Harris' stepmother to spouse Joe Moff's 29-year-old child Cole and 25-year-old girl Ella, on Wednesday, their mom Kirsten Moff joined those communicating shock over Vance's remarks. These are ridiculous assaults, she expressed for more than a long time since Cole and Ella were young people. Kayla has been a co-parent with Doe, and she is cherishing, sustaining, wildly defensive, and consistently present. I love our mixed family, and I'm thankful to have her in it. That is sickening on the grounds that my little girl is 2 years of age. And second of all, in the event that she had fruitfulness issues, as I said in that discourse, I would attempt all that I could to attempt to help her in the meantime. Vance rushed to answer Anniston during a meeting on the Megyn Kelly show. This is what he needed to say. Families and children are something worth being thankful for. You ought to be attempting to advance life. You ought to attempt to advance, our desired truth, to have a decent family strategy in this country. He then, at that point, multiplied down on his remarks, saying the fan responses were quick and extraordinary. X and TikTok were overflowed with remarks supporting Jennifer Aniston and reprimanding JD Vance. One individual composed Jennifer Aniston, and every American lady ought to be insulted. JD Vance's childless feline woman comment will be the knell of Trump and MAGA one-party rule. Watch it happen. Ladies of America are not the property of white men. A second individual, JD Vance, was recruited by an indecent neurotic liar to be his running mate essentially on the grounds that they think the same and his way of behaving is similarly just about as childish as his own undertaking. 2025 is what they need. Yet we will pick opportunity over despotism, someone else remarked on this issue, saying, I simply believe it's so natural for a man who never needs to stress over stuff like this to judge ladies who truly do need to stress over these things. However, in any event, he could have some sympathy. Someone else added to individuals who don't actually have an immediate stake in it, individuals who try not to have a stake in it when he ate here, who don't have a stake in it, meaning on the off chance that you're not white, on the off chance that you're not Christian, on the off chance that you're not straight, and so forth. That is the tranquil part that I'm saying without holding back. What's more, large numbers of us comprehend and know to be valid, except for not every person concurred. A few clients uphold. Vance contending that his remarks were taken inappropriately. As a matter of fact, one individual composed on X, he's discussing M-isable ladies. Not all ladies quit spreading disdain. Yes, a hopeless man or lady ought not be directing the way that we live in any case, in spite of not having any kids. Jennifer Aniston has been in a few pretty astounding connections. Aniston's most memorable critical relationship in the public eye was with entertainer Tate Donovan. They started dating in 1995, subsequent to being presented by common companions. Donovan, known for his parts in The OC and Harms, long ended up being cast as Joshua. Rachel Green's old flame on Companions anyway. In the background, their relationship was reaching a conclusion. The couple had dated for north of 2 years and were amidst separating while at the same time recording together in a 2018 meeting. Donovan uncovered the main bummer was Jennifer and I were separating at that point. Thus, that was precarious to kind of endlessly behave like we were simply meeting one another and falling head over heels or whatever keen on one another when we're somewhat separating. That was only extreme. In spite of the individual difficulties, they stayed proficient on set in 1998. Anniston was momentarily connected to entertainer Paul Rudd. The two featured together in the rom-com. The object of my fondness, gossipy tidbits about their sentiments, started interest. However, neither affirmed the relationship. Their science was clear, and they kept on working together, rejoining in 2012 for the film. A desire for new adventures when inquired as to whether it was strange to kiss on screen. Given their long history, Anniston hilariously answered, "I've kissed him for..." Subscribe She Spice for more videos.